Hello, everyone. Shane Watson here with Strategic Business Solutions, Inc. And today I'm going to be demoing how our Clearview Work Suite helps to figure out benefits, total cost of ownership, and create a benefits return on investment for a potential project if someone is looking at replacing, upgrading, or making a change to their benefits arena internally. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here real quick so that I can get right into the demo. And as you can see, I'll go ahead and disconnect my video so that we can focus on the screen here. But I have logged into our Clearview Work Suite. Just to kind of give you an idea of how this works, this is my admin dashboard. I'm going to come over here to my active companies and do a search on SBSI because I have an all products demo company that I have prepared for this demo. I'm going to go into the detailed TCO study, which is what I've set up, and just a couple of things that I want to call attention to within the application. Whenever we do a study, we always send this general information study along because it is the survey that helps us get things like employee counts, average rate of pay, how people are being paid on a weekly or biweekly basis, et cetera. Just some basic demographic information that we need to calculate everything else. Then you'll notice that there are two tabs within the home screen here. One is human capital management. One is financial management. Within the human capital management side, we have the ability to evaluate payroll, time and labor management, HR administration, benefits administration, recruiting and onboarding, comp, learning, and performance. Because this is a focus on benefits administration, that is the only survey that I've activated just because I wanted to keep this very simple and straightforward. But we can and are fully capable and do frequently go into organizations and evaluate everything under the sun from a human capital standpoint, from payroll to recruiting all the way to performance management. So what you should take away is we can configure these studies based on scope. They could include 3 of these pillars, 1 of these pillars, or all 7. Same thing is true on the financial management side. I have the ability to actually turn these tabs on and off. This particular study has both of them activated, even though I've only used benefits. But it's as simple as going up on the admin line and turning off those different things. But anyway, just a little bit of history. To explain this, I'm actually going to go into the report hub. So, this is all set up at a company level. Every company has the activities that we're doing for them, as well as the reporting that we have built for them. So this is my SBSI detailed study demo, detailed TCO overview. And as you look at the right side of the page, these are all of the things that I could have included. The green check bar mark indicates what I did include. We do this very much on purpose. And if I removed the finance thing tab, everything from here down would disappear. We show this on purpose because as we present this to C-level people, a lot of times the question comes up, well, why didn't we look at payroll and time? We know we have more problems there than we do benefits. And so if they can visually see what we've included, it really does provide opportunity to increase scope, add additional things as they see what's visible and what is not. But again, because this is a benefit focus, what we're saying here is that our study included benefits only, and that at the end of it, we concluded that there's about $2,027,568 in total cost to deliver benefits to the organization. Let's talk a little bit about element of cost, just because I think as we go through this demo, it's important to understand what our structure is and how we are built. So when we talk about, doing total cost work, whether it's for payroll or recruiting or time, or in this case, benefits, we have a structure, a data structure that we follow. It is our methodology. One might say it's our proprietary secret sauce, but it's the recipe we use to collect our information and determine what total cost of an area is. So let's talk about it just for a minute so everybody understands what's included. If we look at the left side of the page here, these are all labor components. And if I hover over these, I've actually got a glossary of terms that's very helpful in explaining it. But processing labor in the benefits world would be the benefits department. So the benefits administrator and whoever reports directly into them, as well as anybody from finance, legal, accounting that do things in the benefits world. Even if they spend 20 hours a year, we're going to document that because it would be part of the cost of delivering benefits. Second bucket that we will look at is the maintenance labor. This could obviously be all over depending on what you're doing, but if you're, you know, say for example, an ERP in-house, sustaining that yourself, you could have a lot of IT people involved, a lot of HRIS people involved. We're just looking at what touches benefits at this point because that is our focus, but we would want to know what IT people are involved doing custom supports, custom reports, or helping with the help desk, or doing database administration work, or interfacing to other solutions in the deck, whatever that looks like. We'll get that, document it, and understand it. Third bucket would be the field labor, and this is, I think we're the only ones that do this, but we want to understand how well we're pushing these services out to our managers and employees who are really the customers of what we do in HCM. So we're looking at things like in benefits, how much time do I spend fielding questions from my employees about benefits? Those type of things. And so we'll document those manager activities and understand those costs. Now moving into the middle of my page, these are a couple areas we call non-labor. One is the processing non-labor. So this is going to be our departmental budget for benefits, any uh, brick and mortar building expenses that we have to staff and hold our payroll team. That's going to include furniture, office supplies, all those kind of things. Just any overhead type things that we have. This is going to look at the IT maintenance non-labor. I call this the raised floor computer room cost, but servers, disaster recovery, backup, third-party hosting centers, license fees we pay, hosting fees we pay, whatever's in that deck that is required to sustain and deliver the benefits administration system gets captured here. Outsourcing fees, this is where we're getting all of the partners. So benefits has a slew of them. 401k providers would be, administrators would be an example, brokers, ACA providers, COBRA providers, different plans that we're involved in. Could be some attorneys and legal fee folks that we're dealing with. So all of those partners we capture here and figure out what we're paying for those. And then while we're at it, we're looking for risk and opportunity. The primary focuses in the benefit area are, have we done a dependent audit in the last 7 years? So how clean is our data? What does our integration look like between HR, payroll, and our benefits? Do we have rules-based things there that are triggering things automatically? Is a lot of it manual? What does that look like? Are we taking advantage of WOTC tax credits, on the recruiting side? All of those kind of things, error rates, how well we're integrated, and if we're having problems that cost us money, if we've paid fines and penalties to state or local or federal, government agencies for non-compliance, all of that kind of stuff. So that is kind of explaining to the executives our methodology. This is kind of what we collected against that methodology. So you can see the processing labor, the non-labor, IT maintenance, field labor. Any of these blue numbers are, of course, hyperlinked. So if we want to see what's included in our processing labor of 752,000, I can open that up and look at any item. So I can look at, COBRA administration and say, well, I've got two benefits specialists that spend 2% of their time based on their salary. That's the cost. They have a 17% load. So this would be the loaded cost of the activity. I can look at keying open enrollment, two benefit specialists at 3%, almost the exact same number, same people. But anyway, all of that is there and referenceable. We can even go into field labor and see, hours supporting employees with benefit related questions. I can open up the formula, see the question from the survey, how many hours per week are spent by the average manager. That's 1 hour. We had 290 managers that do the activity. We're multiplying that by 52 weeks. Here's their average rate of pay. Here's their load. So all of it very good in here and referenceable. This is kind of the summary findings, of the total cost, showing what the cost of benefits itself is. And then the last thing that we do on total cost is benchmark. So we'll take our annual cost that we've figured out across our data structure, divide that by number of employees to get our per employee per year cost of benefits administration. We can then look at, for example, 772 companies that are, 3 to 10,000 in size. We can look at 2,200 companies that are in manufacturing like this company, and we can look at 108 companies that use Oracle to do their benefits administration. So this is nothing to do with ROI at this point. It's just building total costs so that we can educate the executives on where they're spending money. We typically pause at this point. Vendor comes in, sizes everything, figures out what's in scope, comes back to us with a price. We can then load that into our price sheet structure, and then we move into the calculator where we build our ROI. So to kind of take this narrative through, every survey that we activate over here that we collect data from, our system automatically takes data from those surveys, feeds it into our report structure, and also positions it into our ROI builders so that we can then work with that data and configure our total cost of ownership or our return on investment. If we work with you as a vendor and do these all of the time, we have the ability to build profiles. So this would be an example with ADP. They have a comp services profile. They have a Lyric profile, one that does Workforce Now, Vantage, and Enterprise, and one for managed services. I'll go ahead and pick Lyric and apply that. All that does is allow me to build my ROI very quickly if I'm used to what you do. And that fast we've built an ROI. I can still go in and fine tune it, make adjustments, all of that, of course. And if I open up that build ROI page, you'll see that it is structured just like the survey. All those same sections are in play. We're just now adding our automation savings and figuring out what those percentages are going to be. Once that is done, if I go back to the report hub and open up our ROI overview, this is now telling me really where the rubber hits the road on the deal. So just to kind of follow this along from a very high level executive summary standpoint, we had a total cost of benefits of $2 million. We're saying that if we do the project, we'll have the opportunity to save about 912,000 per year. And of that 912, we think about 211,000, call it 212, is direct versus indirect. So we're already anticipating in this model that, CFOs are going to want to understand what's direct and indirect. We're presenting that right up front. This would be the risk and opportunity benefit. We kind of show that separately because it is not related to the total cost structure. If I graduate down this report, you'll see we kind of table the information. So here's our current cost. This is the savings we've identified against those cost areas. This is what is direct and what's indirect. And then this is projecting the first year cost of impact and ongoing years cost of impact in the deal. This is now addressing all of the risk and opportunity, because remember, I told you we keep those separate. So this is where we would be looking at things like, administrative service fee impact, moving to a self-billed model, claim spend, hourly, doing leave paperwork or attending benefit meetings, or, all of these different things that might be happening. These get worked out in this section. And then this kind of is a final table that brings it all together, incorporates the risk and opportunity as well as any anticipated implementation and internal costs that we'll have. And then it gives us a total. We also have the ability to go in here and document other considerations, because we know that, part of an ROI is financial, but part of an ROI can also be, hey, I simply don't have these tools that I need, or, I'm not doing something that I should be doing because I don't have to have the software to support me to do it. All of those kind of things. So this is kind of gives us the ability to tag those in, include them along with the numbers so that we have everything here comprehensively in one place. Okay, now the last part that I want to touch base on is, once we do this several times and we have the ability to collect data each time we do, eventually we wake up like we are today and we find that we've done about 28,000 of these studies. What's really cool is we can help vendors or consultants or just independent companies who are looking to make a change leveraging our analytic data. So they can come over here, they can run a benchmark comparison report. Let's just, for the sake of the demo, pretend that I'm an ADP sales rep. I might be working with this company. This is my name. And I might come over here and say, my company's 3 to 10,000 in size. Maybe they're a legal services company, which I already know I'm not going to have a ton of data. I'll have a lot for manufacturing and government, but things like mining, construction, maybe not have as much. So I want to include a little bit more data. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's just pull this for all industries. I'll go ahead and pick benefits administration because, again, that's my focus. I'm going to say that I'm positioning Lyric, and maybe, this company's on B-Swift managing their benefits. And I want to go ahead and take a look at that and see what the potential benefits are for me moving to, from ADP Lyric, from B-Swift to ADP Lyric. So a couple of things happened here. First of all, it went through my database and found 28 companies that fit the size demographic, that are in all industries and that are using B-Swift to manage benefits. It is then using the Lyric profile. So using that and comparing that, I'm forecasting that there's about a 484,000 per year ROI opportunity moving from B-Swift to ADP. There's an additional 23,597 in risk and opportunity, bringing the total benefit to about just a little over a little under $508,000. As I look through this, couple of things that are, I think, very positive here. I can see the number of data points that SBSI has in all of these different areas. I can also look at this executive summary, which what has kind of happened is I ran this report. I've pulled all this data. I have, the average annual total cost, the average ROI, the average ROI with risk and minus implementation. I've got the data on all of the different areas. And so now I can run that through my system, have it go out to AI and say, hey, take this information, format it, and give it to me in an executive summary level where I can tell these folks in plain English where the savings come from, how they work, and why it's important to them. So it creates that little one pager. And then I have the ability to, go further in the data here if I want to. So if I want to look at, for example, processing labor, I can learn that the average of these companies who, have an average size of 3,393 people have an average of 2.34 benefits people. And, that kind of helps me a little bit, but I can see the cost, the ROI percentage in each area, the estimated savings, and then I can open up any of these. So I can look at this, and this tells me exactly what work and at what percent that work is coming off of my plate if I do this deal and move from, say, B-Swift to ADP. Each of these areas will have that information so that I can open them up and see, what's in there. I can look at the non-labor. I can open up the risk and opportunity and see all those different areas as well. And then lastly, if I want to, I can export this entire thing into a PDF, email it out to a prospect, build a PowerPoint, whatever I want to do with it, to prepare it with whatever light of messaging I want to send out, or I can send it just like this and schedule a meeting to go through it with the prospect. So that's it. Welcome any questions and commentary. I think Dave will be providing some contact information. We'd love to talk to you. Thank you.